Some people didn't break you, they revealed you. When they walked away, it wasn't the end of your story, it was the beginning of you finding yourself. Because sometimes people aren't meant to stay forever. They come into your life to show you something you couldn't see on your own, to act as a mirror for a part of you that was ready to be seen, to be healed, to be transformed. Think about it for a moment. Before they arrived, who were you? And during the time they were in your life, what parts of you came to the surface? Maybe it was your incredible capacity for love, your unwavering loyalty, your fierce protectiveness. Or maybe it was your fear of being alone, your tendency to put others' needs before your own, your habit of silencing your own voice to keep the peace. These people, whether they intended to or not, served as a catalyst. Their presence illuminated both your greatest strengths and your deepest vulnerabilities. Their departure didn't extinguish your light. It simply removed the lampshade that was casting shadows, allowing your own brilliance to finally fill the room. You trusted them. You gave your best. You poured your heart, your time, your energy into that connection, believing it was built to last. And then, one day something shifted. The calls became less frequent. The texts grew shorter. The warmth you once felt turned into a confusing, unsettling coldness. Or maybe it wasn't a gradual fade, but a sudden, jarring departure that left you reeling. They changed. Or they left. And in the silence they left behind, you were haunted by one question that echoed in your mind, day and night. Why? Why would someone you loved so much, someone you shared your dreams and fears with, walk away like you meant nothing? You replayed every conversation, dissected every moment, searching for the mistake you must have made, the flaw in you that drove them away. You spent countless nights staring at the ceiling, your heart aching with a pain so profound it felt physical. You asked friends for their opinions, you read articles, you looked for answers anywhere and everywhere, convinced that if you could just understand the why, you could fix it, or at least make the pain go away. But the truth is, sometimes there is no satisfying answer. Sometimes their reasons have nothing to do with you, and everything to do with their own journey, their own fears, their own unhealed wounds. And then one day, after the storm of questions begins to quiet, a new understanding dawns. It might be a whisper at first, a tiny flicker of clarity in the darkness. You realize that the most important question isn't, why did they leave? The real question is, what did their leaving teach me? It wasn't about them leaving. It was about you learning. Learning to sit with discomfort. Learning that you can survive a pain you thought would shatter you. Learning that your worth isn't determined by someone else's inability to see it. That's the turning point. That's when the healing truly begins. The focus shifts from them back to where it belongs. On you. This realization is where your power returns. They taught you, through their actions, what you will, and what you will not accept ever again. Their inconsistency taught you the value of reliability. Their emotional distance taught you the importance of genuine presence. Their departure taught you that you must never, ever abandon yourself. They showed you, in the most painful but effective way possible, that your peace, your strength, and your worth do not depend on anyone else's validation or presence. They are inherent to you. Their absence forced you to stand on your own 2 feet, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. It compelled you to find new hobbies, to reconnect with old friends, to build a life that was so full and vibrant that it no longer had a gaping hole in the center. It forced you to look in the mirror and truly see the person who's been there all along, the one constant in your life, you. And you start to remember who you were before them, the dreams you had, the things that made you laugh. You begin the beautiful, messy, and rewarding process of integrating the lessons you've learned with the essence of who you've always been. That pain you felt? It was growth in disguise. Think of it like a forest fire. In the moment, it's devastating, destructive, all-consuming. It feels like everything good has been turned to ash, but in the aftermath, the soil is enriched. The ash provides nutrients, clearing the way for new life that is often stronger and more resilient than what was there before. Your pain was that fire, clearing out what was no longer serving you, and that crushing silence they left behind. It wasn't a void, it was an invitation from life saying, it's your turn to speak, it's your turn to heal, it's your turn to listen to your own heart. So what if we could reframe this entire experience? What if every person who left wasn't a punishment, but a lesson? What if their goodbye was life's way of course-correcting, of gently but firmly pushing you back toward your true path, your purpose? It's a radical idea, I know. Our first instinct is to see loss as a deficit, a failure. But what if it's a redirection? Think about a river. If a large boulder falls into its path, the river doesn't just stop. It finds a new way around. It carves a new channel. Over time, that new path becomes just as natural, just as powerful as the old one. The obstacle didn't stop the river. It changed its course, creating new waterfalls and new landscapes along the way. When people leave, yes, it hurts. Let's not pretend it doesn't. The pain is real and it deserves to be honored and felt. But once the initial wave of grief subsides, you can start to see what else their departure created. It cleared space. Space in your mind, in your heart, and in your calendar. And into that newly cleared space, other things can finally flow in. Things that didn't have room to grow before. Things like peace. The quiet, steady peace of not walking on eggshells, of not waiting for a text back. Things like clarity. The sharp, undeniable clarity of knowing what you truly want and need in a relationship. And most importantly, it clears space for you. More of you. The authentic, unapologetic, self-loving you. People don't really leave you. They teach you. They are the unwitting professors in the university of your life, delivering the exact curriculum you need for your evolution. They teach you how strong you can be, revealing a reservoir of resilience you never knew you had. They teach you what love isn't, so that you can recognize what real, healthy, reciprocal love is when it finally arrives. And it will arrive. Real love doesn't require you to shrink yourself. It doesn't leave you questioning your worth. It feels like coming home. So, it's time to stop chasing those who walked away. Stop rereading their old messages. Stop checking their social media. Stop wishing for a past that is gone. Turn around and face forward. Thank them not for the pain, but for the lesson. Thank them for the space they created. Thank them for pushing you onto the path of self-discovery. Because when you finally see it clearly, you'll realize you didn't lose them. You finally found yourself, and that is the greatest gift of all. Thank you for listening. Remember to be kind to yourself on this journey. And if you found this helpful, consider subscribing to Power Within for more content on healing and growth.